Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Hump Day edition of Today in Sports Betting. We're doing it college football style, Scott, and thank God it's college football because that Tuesday night NFL kind of kicked our butt last night as you and I were we talked about how one team was going to look very rusty and terrible and likely be able to get nothing going.
That was right.
Yeah, well, that prediction was correct. Unfortunately, it was the wrong team. At the end of the day, I looked at the stats, and the stat line, you're like, that doesn't look like a 26-point victory for one team.
Well, turnovers played a factor, and Josh Allen was not good.
He was 2018. Josh Allen is who he was, Scott.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying because I've been holding out on admitting how good he is, and I finally came around, and now I got to reevaluate everything.
Well, that'll teach you.
Yeah.
A couple of just dreadful turnovers for young Josh Allen.
The first interception was not his fault. Like, that just deflected off a receiver. That was caught. The second one in Malcolm Butler was atrocious. That was
horrible. And, just as an aside, the tackling of the Buffalo Bills wide receivers was dreadful on that play.
Yeah, not good.
Gave up the extra 40 yards when he should have been down.
Yeah, but how about that Buffalo defense, though? I know that White didn't play, and he's their best corner. I know. What happened to this defense? Weren't they good last year?
Yeah, they were, but they've been bad this year, Scott. We talked about it yesterday. They were 30.
No, I know. I'm just reiterating.
Yeah,
they weren't good last year.
Not good, and they flipped the script this year. They've been doing it all with offense and no defense, and the offense didn't.
Do you think that New England's the best team in that division? I'm asking.
I don't know.
I was still holding out on it, saying I think New England's still better, and it remains to be seen. We haven't seen New England after, of course, the COVID situation they've been dealing with. Now that they're going to have to play the next 11 straight weeks with no bye, so that's not exactly a fun situation there. But when in doubt, I'm still going Belichick, and New England can actually stop somebody every now and then. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was not good at all. And when you look at, again, if you look at the stats,
it's possible Tennessee's also very good, but every game I see one or two decisions from Josh Allen, and I'm going, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you looking for?"
They were able to shut down Derrick Henry yesterday. He went 19.
He had 2 touchdowns, but his yards per carry were terrible.
Yeah, 19. And again, that's what he's been doing this year. 19 carries, 57 yards. The longest run he had was 12 yards.
Yep.
But I swear to God, every time I looked up, he was busting for a first down for 4 or 5 yards. So, and it happens. You take all the information you have, you put it in the handicapping machine, and then you spit out a pick.
By the way, quick question.
Yes.
It didn't matter because the game was over, but it mattered for the total. Were you watching the last 5 minutes of that game?
No.
You didn't see Tannehill's last touchdown pass to Jonnu Smith?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
I did not.
Thought he was clearly past the line of scrimmage, and they reviewed it, and they said it stood, and I really thought he was 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. And they're just like, screw it, touchdown. I'm like, it's good for the over, but I didn't think it was close. I thought Tannehill was way past the line of scrimmage on that.
I'll have to take a look. No, I was at a restaurant with the family and we were driving home.
I don't know. That was my main takeaway, but it didn't matter for some. It might have mattered for others, but I don't know how they messed up that call. But that's just my brief opinion.
Well, that's such a weird rule where if any part of your body is still behind the line.
That's the point, though. I thought it was cleared by 2 yards, and there were no side angle views. Everything was from behind center. I'm like, don't you have a a horizontal view of this thing?
Yeah, they got the 360 spin and all that stuff.
I'm like, okay, I guess you're missing cameras on Tuesday Night Football. But all right, sure. Oh well. Anyway, we're still sticking to football.
Yeah, and we got a good one tonight, Scott. A little Sun Belt, Fun Belt action.
Little undefeated Sun Belt fun.
Undefeated teams, one from the East, one from the West. Possible championship game preview as the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers goes against the UL. I don't know, whatever you want to call them. You still want to call them Lafayette, you can. They actually go by the University of Louisiana. They are the Cajuns. Scott, what's a Chanticleer? Do you know?
It's a type of bird.
Yeah, it is. It's like a chicken or a rooster or something ridiculous. Yeah, they love.
Apparently, it's blue and it's a little bit of brown in there.
Not to be confused with the blue hens.
Yes, that's a Delaware situation.
Louisiana Lafayette.
Delaware's the Blue Hens, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I thought, yeah. See, all this college basketball over the years, I know my mascot.
It's paying off, isn't it?
Yep.
Lafayette 7.5-point favorite. Scott, 58 is your total. That's come down slightly from 58.5. Where do you fall on this one?
I find Coastal Carolina a very fascinating team. And the reason why I say that is because they've scored at least 38 points in each of the first 3 games. Offensively, they've been really, really good with McCall behind center. He's been great if you look at his numbers. He has 9 touchdowns, 1 reception, 728 passing yards.
Very good.
We were talking before we went on air that you are a big fan of the quarterback, and I have to agree because he's been fantastic up to this point, especially after barely playing last year. And he has a little bit of dual threat mobility, which also plays a factor in potentially prolonging drives, etc.
Yeah.
However, I have to bring up the elephant in the room with Coastal, and that is the fact that this team has played against absolutely nobody when it comes to defensive talent. Kansas, no offense to Les Miles, bad. Campbell, no offense to the Camels, but not great defensively. And then they scored 52 in Arkansas State, and I had the over in Arkansas State the last game over the weekend. Blake Anderson might be a good offensive coach. His defenses are not good. So now you're going from those 3 below-average defenses facing off against a top 25 team that has a very good defense in Louisiana, and you have to wonder if their offense will hold up. Meanwhile, Lafayette's kind of the opposite, where they've had a pretty tough schedule up to this point, but they just haven't looked good in their games against tough competition. So you have 2 sides, one team that's really good against below-average teams, and the other team that's been mediocre looking against decent teams. So something's got to give a little bit in this spot. I still like Coastal plus the points because Lafayette has not shown me much in terms of winning by serious margin. I know they won week 1 or game 1, whatever, against Iowa State. Mm-hmm. Since then, they barely beat Georgia State, and they required a 50-something yard field goal from a kicker who was 2 for 6 on the season to win the game against Georgia Southern. So for me, I'm going to lean to Coastal. I'm going to take the points. I think this game will be close, but I'll take the points here.
You know, a couple things that I want to remind our viewers of.
Did I miss anything in that breakdown? Because I feel like I tried to cover as much as I could.
No. A couple things I want to expand on. The victory over Iowa State, well, a very good win for that program, did feature two return touchdowns.
2 returns, yeah.
Kickoff return and a punt return for touchdown.
And I believe you had a 1-play touchdown on that also.
Yes, yeah, they did have a long pass where they had blown coverage. Now, I will say, in small defense of the Chanticleers, is they owned KU. They didn't just sneak by them. They owned.
They beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, they owned every aspect of that game against, again, a Big 12 opponent on the road. So you can't.
I mean, Kansas should be demoted, but that's a separate story.
I agree. They should be relegated to the Sun Belt. There's no question about that. And they did have a nice victory over Central Arkansas. A Central Arkansas team that I remind you did
Arkansas State.
Or Arkansas State, rather. Sorry, I always.
No, it was an impressive win.
They did beat K-State.
Yeah, the team. So I'm just saying that Arkansas State defensively has not been a team that's showcased much over the course of the last couple of years with Blake Anderson. So no, I agree that their wins are still. They still had moments, and the margin of victory was impressive. I'm just acknowledging they have not faced a defense of Louisiana's caliber.
I will say this about the Louisiana defense: they haven't faced a quarterback that runs a balanced attack. Now, when they in the Iowa State,
you can argue Purdy, can't you?
Well, you can, except Purdy wasn't very good, and by the second half of that game, Purdy had to throw. They had to pretty much abandon the run. So I like this well-balanced defense. This is a team for Coastal Carolina that's probably still going to look to run first. But with the quarterback that they have, he really is not afraid to take the reins in his hands and take care of business. So I'm gonna play. I like the Coastal total over. I think we're getting a good price there. 24.5 is their team total, and I do like the Coastal Carolina over 24.5. I would also take the full game over on this as well.
Yeah, I would in my 3. I agree with the Coastal team total, but I would lean to Coastal plus 7.5, and I would lean to the over.
All right. Well, I do have a premium play on this game, so I'm gonna shy away from the sides, but there's a lot to like about the totals involved in this game. I think this is going to be a shootout, Scott. I think there's going to be some points scored. I think both of these offenses are going to find success against defenses that are okay. I'm probably not as impressed with the Cajun defense as you are, and we'll see what happens. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, they look to run some more. So plus Shai Werts is not having a good season with.
I don't think he's that good.
No. Yeah,
he was fine a couple of years ago, and then I watched him last year, and he didn't really do anything. But yeah,
he's been disappointing for the Eagles. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I think it should be a fun game. I think
the spread's too high though. I think the spread should be somewhere around 4.5.
I've got him in my power rankings, Scott. I've got him 2 spots apart. I know Danny Sagrin has him 1 spot apart. I think there are 2 teams that are pretty evenly matched. I will say that.
Well, yeah, but I'm assuming that home field, since Lafayette does have some fans, might be worth 3, maybe.
No, well, I've got it closer to about 1.7 at this point.
Okay, either or. So, what do you think the spread should be then?
I think it should be 3.5.
Okay, I said 4.5. Whatever. Either way, 7.5 is too many for me.
Somewhere in that neighborhood. Yeah, it should be. Scott, how many days of football do we have in a row here?
It's every day this week.
We had Thursday, Friday last week. So we got 4 days through the weekend. Then we got 5 days. So we got 9. We got 2 weekend days. We got 11. We got Monday is 12. So we're going to have 12 straight days.
It's going to carry over until next Tuesday where we might not have a game, but maybe we might have a game. So
we're gonna have a Tuesday game next week?
No, but I'm saying in case there's COVID stuff, you might end up having one.
Yeah, that would make it 13. Monday night will be 12 days in a row. So that's, COVID's done a lot of bad things, but
well, you know what? Never-ending football is not a bad.
No, the Monday doubleheaders, the Tuesday night surprise games.
Yeah, and in about a week or so, you got Big Ten stuff coming back.
Right, and of course, the Chiefs play every Monday night. What's not to love about that? Playing Monday night again this week. Just a little look ahead, Scott. How do you like the Chiefs Bills?
I got to assume the short week's gonna be brutal for Buffalo.
You would think so. They were. I'm trying to see what they were. They were.
What made you bring up the Chiefs Bills game?
The numbers stayed the same. Chiefs are still 3.5 points.
What made you bring that topic up?
What's that? Well, because of the Bills playing last night. Because before that game last night, I loved the Bills in that spot at home, getting 3.5 points to the Chiefs.
I don't like the idea of them playing on Tuesday night and now having to play Kansas City. Plus, I'm not going to immediately assume that Kansas City is ripe for a bounce back spot. That's a pretty good bounce back opportunity there after getting, frankly, embarrassed against the Raiders.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see Buffalo's defense struggle against Pat Mahomes of all people.
Yeah, agreed. It might be taking the total on that is 57.5.
57?
Yeah, 57.5. That might be in play, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I was just curious. So,
okay.
But as far as this game tonight, I think you and I are on the same page with this.
I'll lean to the dog and I'll lean to the over.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
I like points. I like points, and more points, especially by. I think the number at 24.5 is a little bit low on Coastal. So I think America's about to find out how good Coastal is. I think they're good. I think they're a good football team.
Yeah, they are good.
I think this kid has a possible future in the NFL. I really do.
Okay.
I don't want to get too excited here. He's just a redshirt freshman. But he,
he's already shown serious flashes. I'll play that much.
Yeah, he's got the size. He's 6'3". Everybody loves that size. He's 6'3". He's got the big arm. So Grayson McCall, a name to watch. We'll see where he ends up grad transferring to in this last year.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, buddy. That's our football show for today. One game, one show. That's how it works. If you want even more information on this, make sure you check out our website, winnersandwhiners.com, the number one site in the world for predictive sports analysis. You will find it a very valuable tool in your handicapping arsenal. Make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com for deep dives into not just this game, but every game going on in North America every single day. And for us, we're out of here. For myself, for Scott Reichel, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money. And we will see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Have a great day, everybody. See you next time. Bye-bye.